All right, here we go. Check one, two, check one, two, check one, two. What is up, guys? Your riddles, your boy Kagi, back at it again with a new video, and I almost, spilled my coffee. What is up, guys? Today I bring you Nick Adler, aka Nick Yatch, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is an absolute god in the music industry, and he's been getting into NFTs lately with Snoop Dogg and other friends of his, and we're gonna find out everything that he's doing in the NFT world, but we're gonna find out also what he's been doing throughout his life, because I barely know this guy. So we're going to find out about him together, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome, Nick. Welcome.
What
Thank you
up?
for doing this.
Good to see you, Keggy. I appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm a fan first, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So tell me a little bit about you, Nick. Tell me your story, your background. What got you to this point in your life where you're at right now? Like, how do you start?
Man, I'll give you the condensed. So I grew up in New York, actually in Woodstock, New York. That's the way back. Kind of ran around New York City for a few years, jumping around from job to job. Became a lawyer for a very short period of time. When I was young, hustling in New York, I was terrible at it. Couldn't wait to get away. Really wanted to be in the entertainment business. Kind of had a couple stops and starts, and then started working for a friend of mine who was doing unscripted television reality shows back in, this is like 2006 when reality was exploding. Ended up getting on a few shows, did some work for actually a Miami show called Miami Inc.,
Okay.
which
I know
which
it.
broke, yeah, man, which
Mhm.
broke the mold and created a whole new genre of like tattoo TV. And I mean, to this day, you see all these reality shows that around tattoo parlors. So it was a great moment. It was a breakout moment. And the team I worked with on that show, we were young and we were kind of like excited. And before we knew it, we got our next show, which was connected to Snoop Dogg, called Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood, and it was about Snoop and his family. And my buddy said, "Hey, we just got an opportunity to work on Snoop's television show." And I was a Snoop fan my whole life. Grew up on the East Coast. Never imagined I'd get close to Snoop Dogg. And next thing I knew, it was like, well, jump on a plane, let's go to LA, and I'll hire you on this TV show to be a producer. Which, to be honest, at the time I was pretty underqualified for.
Mhm.
But I
You just
fake it till you
like
make
fuck
it.
it, let's go, let's do
Yeah,
it. I mean, it's the one in a
exactly,
lifetime opportunity at that moment, right? So
exactly. So I jumped on a plane. I went out to LA, stayed on my boy's in his little like closet, and worked on this show and just got my groove. The show was about his family. It was on the E Network. It actually, crazy enough, launched the same season that the Kardashians launched. And little fun fact, but we kind of crushed them in the ratings that first year.
oh, I'm clipping
But
this.
but man, they played the long game, so good to them. We did 2 seasons of the show. I kind of found my niche, like my background with the sort of learning how to negotiate, to like just being a huge Snoop fan, to being like a brand guy and early adopter. I just started to bring in opportunities, and my first big break with Snoop was Dyson Vacuums wanted to put a vacuum in the show, and they offered us some money. At the time, music was on the decline. That's back when music was really losing all its value. No one wanted to pay for it, and
Like
Snoop,
digital kind of started
yeah,
coming in, and the
everyone
industry
was
didn't know
downloading
how to
music. Yeah,
adapt. Okay.
yeah. But Snoop's a visionary, man, and he like, when I called him and I called his manager at the time. I said, hey, I got this, Dyson vacuums. It has 50 grand to pay you to integrate into the show. They were like, what? Who's this kid bringing in this
Cash
money? And the
flow.
networks weren't paying attention to that brand integration money. So I gave him the deal. They vacuumed in the show, and that kind of created this relationship. I did a couple other shows. I got a call from Snoop and his manager, and they said, "Hey, why don't you come in and join this team? We're building a new team." And it was 2000, like I said, 7, and it was just ahead, man. They were like, at that time, artists had record labels and agents, but no one had their own team in house. And he said, "I want you to do my branding and my endorsements," and that's what I did. Took me a little while to get my groove, but man, if you see our catalog now, from Adidas to Pepsi to, man, you name it, like, like
Yeah, the
insurance
absolute
companies.
juice. No, yeah,
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg is absolutely juiced out the wazoo, and I
yeah,
can see that it's partly because of you, right? Like
yeah, man.
you're just a great negotiator.
I appreciate it. He put me on, and we ran together. We've done a lot of deals together. But the coolest part, and where I'm really appreciative of him and the team around him, is that he allowed me to do what I did, and he just trusted it. And I realized if you build a team you can trust, you can absolutely crush it. And I became the early tech guy. So social media, I was out there, kind of like trying Twitter for him, trying Facebook for him, trying Instagram. Then I learned you can invest in these companies, put some investments together, and those paid off. And now where we're at, and why I'm excited to talk to you, is just like I saw the Web3 stuff happening. I saw NFTs, and I was like, we have to go fast. And just like, and a lot of artists are being very painstakingly cautious about it and protective. And he's like, go. And I did. And I went out, and we've already, we hit the market hard. And, you say the name Snoop Dogg and NFTs right now.
Everybody knows.
Like, yeah, exactly.
And the cool thing about it is that Snoop, kind of like, he does so many things that it doesn't affect his brand. Is what I see. Like, oh, he's doing this. No, I'm not gonna accept it. No, it's like it's acceptable to see Snoop doing anything. Like, gaming, whatever. Yeah, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah. You know what I've learned from him, and you know why that is? It's authenticity. This guy is the most authentic. You get what you get when you get him. It's you get Snoop Dogg. You're not gonna get Robert De Niro. You're not gonna. You get a guy who comes in. He's like, I'm Snoop. I'm gonna be Snoop, and that resonates with everybody from an older mom crowd who might watch him on Snoop and Martha to like a 5-year-old who might see him pop up on Nickelodeon or Storybots on Netflix, to the OG kids who grew up with him smoking weed, listening to Doggy Style, to the new kids hearing him on like feature records. Like he's a force, man. He keeps it authentic, and he doesn't, if he likes it, he's going to do it. There's a funny meme that's like Snoop won the game. He's just doing side missions now.
yeah, absolutely. Of course, he's already made it, but it's crazy how you guys haven't stopped, because I say you guys, I can see like you guys are together in this, like it's a team, right? Like you guys haven't stopped innovating, like trying new things. At this point, like Snoop Dogg should be like, yeah, I'm chilling, put my, my 2 feet up, you two, like fuck it, right? But I see you guys coming into NFT. Snoop Dogg is like, what the hell, man? Like, wow, man. And you guys are coming in with good intentions, which is very, very important. Yep. We see a lot of artists, we see a lot of companies that they kind of just come in and one-offs and then they're out, right? So Snoop Dogg, you guys started with what? I think it was crypto, right? Crypto.com.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So we're getting all these, like, it's right now, man. We get offers daily, and you could just feel the cash grabs. It's hard, man. I'm turning down offers all day. I'm like, nah, we can't. You can't pay us the 100 whatever to promote your generative project because they'll know it's inauthentic. So we got to be real in the space. So we started initially. We saw the movement happening. We saw Grimes, what she did on Nifty Gateway. And Steve Aoki was in there. Deadmau5 has always been early, but basically, I said to myself, okay, I need to establish a drop with him quickly so he can understand it. We don't have time to put together something that's going to take a year, because I knew that the moment was there. So the Crypto.com exchange was launching their NFT platform, and I've learned a lot from that, but doing that first was interesting. It was on a different chain. It wasn't on Ethereum. So I didn't realize at the time, I learned a lot from that. But we worked with a cool OG, I don't know if you know this, but an OG crypto artist Frankie Nines, who Subducks, he did all the art.
And, I know. I don't know him, but I own 9 Subducks, so it's like I watch his videos and stuff like that.
Frankie's the man. He's been our developer for many years. He developed Snoopify, an app we did years ago. So he was a great kind of entry point into crypto and into NFTs. Him and Jimmy.eth. So Frankie designed the art, and as well as a company called Digital Dog, which Snoop has equity in. And they did a series of art. We did some voice drops, and we dropped them on Crypto.com. And what was cool about that was that they already had this built-in massive reach. And what was very interesting is that like they had a big global reach, a lot of like Asian consumers. So where you're not necessarily seeing a lot of these drops at the time, you were seeing a lot of like kind of US based consumers. Over there, we got a global consumer, which was Snoop, and it did very well. It was lucrative. And I think it was a great way to make an impact, and Snoop saw the benefit from it. Now, after that, I realized I needed to be, again, lessons learned. I needed to be on Ethereum. I needed to be really like in the community, knowing who the OG artists were, the graphic designers, the virtual creators. And then we zoned in. We did our next collab with Neon Cat, which was wild. It was awesome. We dropped that on 420 last year, and we built it on our own contract. We did it with a company called NFT 42,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was
that's Jimmy's company.
Jimmy's company. And the
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
part about that drop was it actually wasn't a big hit at the time. We dropped it and then we burned what didn't get sold. So in the market, there's not a lot of those. And then slowly it started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now it's a collective, it's that thing is hard to get for I mean, we did a bouncing Snoop, a 101, which is a dog, a neon dog. And then we did a cat with a marijuana leaf, and we did a joint that bounces.
Oh shit.
So it's on OpenSea. It's a fire thing. So we did that, and then after that, we started to collect. Man, we started to acquire people we loved and put together a pretty sick vault. And there's some rumors out there that Snoop is the great Cosimo Medici. It's yet to be confirmed. I can't
I
confirm
mean,
it yet.
did he drop it? He dropped it, right?
But he's but the Cosimo, the Medicis have been very helpful to us, and they're great patrons of the art. So we're continuing to want to acquire amazing assets, and now where you and I connected is the gaming side of it. So I'll leave it at that. We announced our Sandbox collab. We did a first drop, but I don't know if you want to. I'll let you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, gaming. I think I've seen Snoop Dogg's videos on YouTube and Twitch. I mean, he's so genuine, and at his age, without it's incredible how young he stays like inside. Like what the fuck? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my father. But anyways,
That's
you guys did Sandbox collaboration, which was super cool. I think Sandbox is gonna be absolutely insane. I can only imagine going to a concert in Snoop Dogg's land. Like just and he's actually rapping literally from his bedroom, right? Like he's actually there singing with his avatar. That's gonna be insane. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a cool thing. Man.
I've learned so much from Sandbox. Sandbox is
yeah.
So when I initially collaborated with them or started with them, I didn't realize. This is obviously before Facebook said the word meta, right? This is back, right?
We'll talk about that too. I want to see your perspective on this, but go ahead.
No, for sure. But everybody was talking. The word metaverse was already starting to buzz. I had the opportunity to get introduced to Arthur and Sebastian, who were the founders of the Sandbox, and we had a couple phone calls, and at first I dismissed it. I was like, man, what is this? Like, you can't play it. It's blocks. And, but the more I kind of thought about it, the more I realized, like, no, that's an amazing entry point. Like Roblox and Minecraft, like we've already shown that, like, we want to engage there. And I don't think we're there yet where you're going to put on your headset and be fully virtual. I think that's going to come, but I think the simplicity and the great user kind of the way you can create these things within the Sandbox was really exciting. And when they showed me the art and how they could tell a really good story around Snoop, then I was like, this is amazing. And then when I realized, wait, each asset is an NFT? Like, I mean, that's the explosion. And I think you're there, but that's when my brain exploded, because I'm like, I've done collaborations with Snoop and other artists in all types of big hit video games, the 2Ks and the Maddens and the Activision stuff, and they forever own that IP or that asset, and you create it, and you've done amazing.
You don't generate revenue over time.
Yeah. But I love that we can now create assets that people can forever keep and sell, and we can evolve them. And
it goes back to the artist as well, because people might think like, oh yeah, he's a millionaire, whatever, this and that. That has nothing to do with anything. That doesn't mean that he should take less or stop taking money. I mean, there's work behind the word Snoop and your team. Like, there's sweat there.
It's a shift from the big megacorps to the individuals, to the artists, to the creators, to the creators communities. Like we're looking at NFTs not just as a value proposition for Snoop and for us. We're looking at it as a value proposition for the communities around us. Like you should see the brainstorms we're in. Like, oh man, we could take this NFT and airdrop it to the community, to all the kids in the football league. He has a non-for-profit football league who are probably going to be the last to get welcome to the world of MetaMask and owning a wallet and engaging and like, how can we onboard new consumers and new users and bring them new value and let them know the value of these assets. So I'm just so excited with it. But the game assets are just crazy. And like, so Sandbox is we're just scratching the surface. I mean, we have plans to unveil a 12 by 12 plot of land there. There's estates, there's music venues, there's theaters. Other artists we're signing to our that live within our community that are really killer rappers, musicians, whatever. We have ticket events coming up. I mean, just this idea of continuing to engage there. And again, this is just one of the metaverse. So we'll go to other places. I mean, you know that I've been talking to some of these Solana based, games and stuff and AVAX.
Ethereum, some of
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
I'm looking at the space, future travel stuff. I mean, I think, man, it's we're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely. I have this project. I'm not gonna say the name, but I'll tell you later. But the point is that this project is gonna connect to like TikTok, it's gonna connect to different like apps, right? And they have like this characters, right? That you can like drop within the platform. And I was talking to him, I was like, and I thought about the only one that I thought about was Snoop Dogg, because I was like, holy crap, imagine if Snoop Dogg dropped in his TikTok like 5,000 characters, and then you can jump into a game with that character right there with other
Crazy.
people in the chat. Like,
Yeah.
Like Facebook gaming back in the day. Like,
Yep.
imagine you can drop, your NFTs, and those NFTs can be used in those little games
Yeah.
that are within that platform.
Yeah,
So
I love it. I mean,
I thought
that's where
about
we're
it.
going. Like everything is, you can play it within the worlds. We're not closed off anymore and run by Facebook. So I'm excited.
And what do you think about Facebook? Just give me like a little. What do you think about this? Is it good? Is it
Man,
bad? I think it's
like,
good in some ways, but
Man, I'd be foolish to say like I'm not like count Facebook out because
Mm-hmm.
it's a behemoth, it's a monster. I've had good experiences with them and I've had bad experiences with them. I think that there's a win at all cost mentality there, and I think that that's not so great for society as a whole. But they've pushed the envelope and they've innovated and creative stuff. I felt that this meta launch was a bit, I don't know, it was a bit like, hey, look at us. We know everything. And we were to take credit for the entire sort of evolution to Web3. And it came off kind of goofy and corny. And, the memes are amazing. I believe that they're going to be, that they're going to fight the fight and they're going to be a big player. But I'm more excited about the decentralized. And they might say they're going to be decentralized and there might be opportunities there. But I'm more excited about the new emerging platforms and who's going to be the next generation of innovators.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I give them credit, like you said. I give them credit for what they have done in general. I think they, that presentation was cohesive, right? At least you see that, and nobody has done that yet here in the space, in our space,
Yeah.
in our decentralized space.
Yeah.
Nobody has brought this presentation where it's like, oh, I get it, right? So that was good. The centralized part of it is kind of like, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I think it's still good for the industry, and there's people. People are gonna pick. They have
I was
their
happy
choice.
I was happy to be a sand owner. That was crazy. I mean, sand token, mana,
Absolutely
those things
blew up, man. Out the
was
wazoo.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pumped on that. It definitely brought attention. Everybody's talking about it. I think it's like, look, man, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg needs to make himself the center of every video. It's like a little
True,
bit like I'm like,
Yeah,
so
kind of
we'll see
cringe.
what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah, we'll see. It's cringe, a little cringe. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely not ruling them out. And if there's an opportunity, if they come and they say, hey, we got an idea, I'll listen. But right now, I'm trying to pioneer and trying to move really fast to do stuff with
And talk about pioneering. You have a new project.
Yeah,
you have a new
man.
project, and I want you to explain, because you made like a new band. Just explain it to us. Like with
This
Apes, this is crazy. This is crazy.
This is this is why I'm like, look, this the Snoop thing we talk about all day, but what's happening right now is Kingship. So Kingship is a new band that we signed. We just signed a record deal with 1022 label under Universal Records, biggest music company in the world, Universal Music Group. The band is made up of 4 apes: a gold ape, a laser-eyed ape, an ape with a crown, and a mutant ape with a pimp coat. So the value of that collection of apes right there is, you cross the could be $10 million, right? The apes, all 4 apes, came from Jimmy's vault. Jimmy is, in my opinion, one of the most prolific collectors in the game. One of the first, he pranks Shiny. A handful of guys went in and minted the apes. He had at one point over 400 of them. He gave away 100 of them. First time I got an ape was from Jimmy, a free ape which, back then I sold one of them. I had 3 apes. I sold one for nominal fee. I had no idea, but I held the other two and have been able to be part of the ape community. Got some, I'm and I met Celine Joshua, whose label signed. She came up with the idea. She was like, I really want to sign a group of apes and put them together in what is Kingship. And I said, I got the perfect guy for you. And at the time, like you could get apes. I mean, a lot of floor apes, but you couldn't get these apes.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy's ahead of the game. He's like, let's go. We got a deal done, and now we announced it today.
The possibilities are insane. Now, as you're talking, I'm like, oh my god! Like, okay, yeah.
So, people are talking about the gorillas, right? Like we are, that's the North Star, and I think what we can do now, from the way you distribute the music to the way the music's created to the visuals and the holograms, like this could be insane.
No, it could be insane. And even the good thing about this, what I see about this, is that if you do something like, because I saw something like Daft Punk there, I was like, okay, Daft Punk. If people didn't actually know who Daft Punk were, right? Because let's just say they don't know, but they can transcend. Anybody can go under that mask, right?
Yeah.
And the music can change over time. So with this, I feel like you can, grab 4 artists, whether they're DJs, people that sing, and they can actually wear those, in real life. They can wear, nobody ever knows who they are. But over time, as they get old or their music, you want to change, you want to bring a fresh new, type of art in terms of music. You can put other people behind that. So it's an evolving brand. It's an evolving brand all the time.
Already getting hit up by like really big names, producers, writers, famous artists. So, there's so much potential to create an evolving project and product. So it's funny. Somebody tweeted 1993 Daft Punk, 1998 Gorillaz, 2015 Marshmello,
I saw
2021 Kingship. And I'm like, that's fire. I like that.
Yeah, man. That's insane, bro. Like now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. I edited a video the other day of Justin Bieber, one of his songs with, I think it was Drake or something. I don't know. And I edited a Bored Ape inside it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. Like, this is what's going to happen. Pop culture is going to integrate 100% like this. And, this is it. This is pop culture right there.
I mean, my moment, I've been feeling it, but NFT and NYC last week, like that was a collision, man. I was like, TechCrunch meets Art Basel meets Fashion Week meets like, the Grammys. Everything was there. You go to an event and I was running into old music cats I've known forever, managers of big acts, to like celebrities that are
investors from like Web 2.
Yeah, exactly. Web 2 people to the most famous visual artists. Mm-hmm. And like, running around, you can't keep up. It's party to party, event to event. And I left and a friend of mine was like, so was it worth it? And I was like, it's not like I have a deal that I developed there, but I know those people. I'm going to see them for the next 20 years. It was like being in South by Southwest in 2007. Like, this is a new community and everybody just wants to win. I do think I'm going to go back next year and I'm going to look back and be like, I remember when you just run into everybody, because next year, it's going to be the American Express party and the Budweiser concert and all that kind of stuff.
And the big brands are in. They're going to come. Everybody wants in. So tell me what's next, not only for this project, but what's next for you? Like, what is your personal goal, other than like you help Snoop and the team? What do you want to achieve here at a personal level?
I mean, I want to continue to achieve great things for Snoop, and I want to lead the space. I want to create more assets, more collectibles, maybe a token. I want to establish, a massive foundation for him, his family, and emerging artists and in the community. I personally am investing in a number of startups and a number of tokens in my own collection of NFTs. I'm also I'm trying to become a voice in the space for kind of in the world that I'm in. I want to be I want to be there. You know, I don't need to eat off everybody. I don't need it to be paid, but I want all the kind of creators in my world, whether it's in music or comedy or actors, to come and say, I'm dropping an NFT. How do I do it right? I got to speak to Nikki Ads. Like,
Hell
for
yeah.
me, I want to become that. And I think with that, all ships rise, and there'll be, you know, great economics, and we can create like world changing technology. And then, you know, I want to, you know, the Kingship thing happened very organically, and it's been amazing. And I want to keep figuring out ways to utilize these new assets to develop businesses. A lot of these generative projects are, you know, built by friends of mine. Like, you know, there's cartoons to be made, there's movies to be made, and the community owns these things. So the new business models are just beginning. And that's, you know, again, like the gaming side too. Where do we go?
Well, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot in gaming, and all these PFP projects can all into. That's a cool thing. Everything can go, can integrate with each other. I'm not sure if Bored Apes has land, for example, in the Sandbox. I know CyberKongz has lands. Good friends of mine.
So CyberKong has a big plot. The interesting thing about Sandbox that I know is that the Bored Apes are actually individually owners or the largest landholders. So there's a ton of Bored Ape owners who own land, which is crazy, right? Like, it's like if you own an ape, you probably bought some property in Sandbox and you probably put your ape on it. But CyberKongz, to my knowledge, and it has gone in as a brand and really built
as a world. Yeah. And they're integrating with a lot of, you know, they just integrated with a new game. Now you can bring your CyberKongz VX from the Sandbox and, you know, put it into another game. 2 games actually.
So I love CyberKongz drop, because I thought CyberKongz were the ones to go. You know, there's so many PFP projects now, and there's just such a the thing that's frustrating to me right now, and I'm sure, is the barrier of entry is so low, and there's not a major curator kind of yet. So a lot of it is just like daily routines, and I'm getting hit up left and right, buy this, buy that. And I've been burned on projects. Not everything's about making money, but you don't want to buy stuff that's valueless day one, right?
No.
So, you know, when I saw what the Kongs did with, you know, with creating the 2D and then very quickly rolling out the voxel 3D, I was like, it's great, because there's a true utility there, and you can keep doing it. And they just keep continuing to be ahead and putting value to that token. And, you know, so many of these other things, like I'm looking forward to the projects that are create value, because I'm starting to get a little tired.
Man, I'm telling you, going back to the Kongs, the people in Kongs are premium individuals, because I know them from Axie. These are Axie investors from the beginning. And Axie is a very, very tight community. Like these people were here since 2018. And one of the people that put me in is this guy called Coco Bear.
I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, this guy is absolutely insane. Like he can see shit, and he's like, that's good. And he went into CyberKongz, and he just started, you know, he has massive amount of money, but he doesn't care about that. He's caring about, what can I do to take this to the next level? How can I provide value as a whale? Because it happens a lot of whales, and they don't provide value. They just want money, more money. And it's okay. You know, people want money, but, you know, come in as a whale and provide value. And that's what happened in CyberKongz. You know, it's
exactly. And I think those are the people that are pushing the space forward. My relationship's been with like Jimmy. He's the whale, but he helped me. He wants to move the face forward. He really cares about things that are on chain and all that. But in terms of Coco, I follow him on Twitter. I'd love to connect with him as well. So.
Yeah, I'll put you in contact with Coco. Coco's cool as hell, man. Cool as hell. On the low, obviously. But you know.
And honestly, man, I follow you to find out what's exciting. Like I'm late to I'm late to Axie. Axie was a hard one to just jump into. I tried to do a couple, you know, some game stuff, but now I'm starting to spend a lot more time on it. But you know,
but no worries. You know, there's many other games, and you know, there's gonna be now Axie has the Run token, which is the running blockchain ecosystem. In that blockchain, there's gonna be more games too. So I mean, keeping up with Axie as a leader in the space, you know, it's important too, because more things are gonna, you know, derive from there. So
what are you excited about right now?
What am I excited about?
Today, like, you know, I know you see daily, but as of today, what are you feeling good about right now?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. Right now, I'm a little bit burned out. I almost don't feel that much of excitement, right? And I think it's okay. In terms of like how I feel, like I'm like, you know, like you said, like too many projects, too many stuff. People hitting me up, like, you know, chill this, chill that, blah blah blah. And right now, I'm kind of like whatever. But what I'm really, really excited like long term is really the running blockchain, right? What Axie is doing with the running blockchain, and Immutable X as well, bringing TikTok, Vive app as well, bringing Illuvium, Guild of Guardians. So
you turned me on to Illuvium, man. That blew my mind.
yeah,
That
Illuvium
blew
is
my
sick
mind.
as fuck, man. Yeah.
I think like when you see the companies that are putting in work and really, really, really investing in the future and not looking like, hey, we just want to rush this to make sure that we can get it out while the market's frothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was so impressed with that Illuvium trailer, man. I talked to those guys. I was like, these guys, they get
You
it.
talked to
So
Kieran? Yeah.
I talked to Kieran, and I cannot wait to talk more to them. I know that they're deep in the sauce right now. So when they get a moment, I think we'll
Yeah,
reconnect.
man, they're building hard. They're building hard. So yeah, and I also want to see, one of the things that I'm most excited about is to actually see how the traditional industry that is so corporate, so fucking corporate, is gonna have to like bow down to this industry. They're gonna have to.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to come in, and they're gonna have to play in our arena, right? They're
Yeah.
they still have power, they still have more money or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're gonna have to provide something for the user, and everybody gets to win, right? At least the
Yeah.
opportunity to win, which is
Yeah,
something.
I think they're still moving like it's not affecting them. But I've been through this with the music world. You wake up one day and everything changes. So I think that they're gonna pay attention. I think that there are some of the big publishers who are starting
Take
to pay
notice.
attention. And honestly, some of them, once they turn that switch, it's gonna be hard to compete with them, man. Like I tell you, my hands down, to me, the peak of gaming is Grand Theft Auto. I think what those guys have done and the way they've been able to protect that brand and make that brand after 20 years feel still like supreme. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's crazy. So I can only imagine what happens when all of a sudden that there's some like
I
blockchain.
heard. I heard. I mean, in the
Yeah,
GTA 6, there might be
yeah,
some integration with that,
yeah. Which would be
and I think
crazy.
they should. If they
Yeah, they
don't,
should. They
they
should. Yeah,
might miss the train right there. Like
I
this
feel you.
next
I feel
GTA,
you.
it's their ticket into
Yeah,
into NFTs. And
yeah,
here's the thing about GTA. You know that people do role playing in GTA, right?
yeah,
Like people
yeah,
play their character.
yep,
I know people that
yep,
play 12 hours a day GTA
yep,
role playing. They
yep,
have this big mansions, this big
yep,
houses. They're playing like real world type of thing, and they value what they already have there, which is crazy.
yep, yep, yep,
They
yep.
value
Oh,
their assets, and their assets
yep,
don't are not worth anything. So,
yep,
but they value it, and it's
yep.
crazy. It's like, oh no, nobody has that Lambo. Oh, and you're like, what the fuck, man? You can't even you can't sell it. Imagine if you could sell it.
I know
You
it's
know,
once they, and I've talked to them, a little friends of mine over there. It's crazy. Just what they do. They're so detailed. The music, the radio stations, the tracks they get, the DJ sets in the clubs.
hmm
It's crazy. So I just really hope that they play it right. I think that a lot of these guys will miss it if they play it right. And look, they're going to dominate. But we'll see what happens, man.
I'm gonna embrace GTA.
Yeah,
However they come in, whether they come in with skins, because that,
yeah,
that that could be a thing. Like your clothing, not nothing that gives you more power in the game, like weapons and stuff like that. Might not be NFTs, but
yeah,
skins. Maybe
yeah,
you have a Lambo that you bought in the game. You can't sell it,
yeah,
but you can sell the skin, right? Like a
yeah.
golden Lambo or whatever. There's only one out of one,
Exactly.
or a bored
Exactly.
ape Lambo, right? Like
Yep.
one out of one, or every bored
Yeah.
ape
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
can actually claim one inside the game, like shit like that, man. Like
Yeah.
it could get
Yeah.
crazy, man.
It's funny you bring that up. One thing I am digging a lot into right now is the metaverse fashion stuff. At first, I dismissed it. At first, I was
hmm
like, "Man, come on!" I'm like, I don't, And actually, what intrigued me was, obviously, I saw the Dolce Gabbana drop, which I thought was cool, and I thought it was cool how they engaged the whales. That was
hmm
for the whales. Obviously, you had to be rich to be able to participate, or crypto rich. But what I thought, what Star Atlas did with the jackets, the Fabricant jackets. I saw that and I was like, man, that's fire,
Fire.
like slick. So that caught my attention. So I'm thinking a lot about what is the metaverse garb wear that we create, whether it's crazy Snoop merch that might give you utility in the real world to just some fly stuff that you just want to rock in your digital world. Maybe you own it in the real world, but probably not, and that to me, I'm looking at companies to invest in there. I'm looking at assets to buy, and I'm looking at some serious cool product to make that, I think would be really cool as band
I mean,
development.
just imagine this: Snoop Dogg does a concert. Boom. At the entrance, they give you a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
With that pair of glasses, you can connect whatever wearable you have, and you can wear it yourself within the actual physical concert, or put it on top of people's, right, like
Yeah.
you can see everybody's bored ape in their face, right, like faces
Yeah.
of bored apes, and everybody's
Yeah.
like shit like that. That shit's, there's gonna be, it's not only gonna be all virtual, it's gonna be like this physical virtual world, and it's gonna look insane if that happens.
Yeah.
But we're a little bit far from that. We're a little bit far from
Yeah.
that, but I'm
We're not
excited
there,
for
but
that.
this is a world that's moving so quick that it's happening fast. I didn't think we'd be where we are right now.
Me
I don't
either.
think one thing that I will say that I don't know if you feel the same way, but everything is really built on a dream right now. So there's great tech and there's great tokenomics and there's democracy in terms of how you exchange stuff. However, I'm making plays on trailers as opposed to gameplay or as opposed to engagement. So I'm like, this project's sick, but really it's
No,
not real. Like,
not
you're not
really.
actually playing it. It's some really sick Unity developer and web designer who's created beautiful assets. So there's a little bit of, there's some landmines, man. Like they got to get some stuff right.
Yeah. I mean, that's why sometimes I tweeted yesterday. I was like, does anybody feel like we're not going to make it as an industry? Am I the only one? And
Dude,
those are
come
the
on,
thoughts.
Flag me, man. We're all gonna make it.
No, but the reason I say this is it's not only, it's not to be like, not bearish on this
Yeah.
industry, is to make people rethink, what are we
Yeah.
doing here, what are we truly doing here,
Yeah.
and the Steam banning games, NFT games, that was amazing to me, honestly.
Yeah.
For me, that's like a moment where you're like, okay, why the fuck did they ban it? We gotta prove it. We gotta prove that, like you said, we gotta prove that we're doing shit right here, and that this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I don't mind, a little bit of negative thoughts in that sense.
Yeah, and it's
too.
like we move fast. There's gonna be some moments. Like there's some companies raising way too much money. They probably shouldn't be raising it.
Every
and
company's overvalued.
shit's
I
gonna
tell people.
pop.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Everything.
These. I mean, we're back in like the shit coin boom. Like, dude, I saw 3 coins today: GM, GN, and another like meme coin. Dude, GM went like, I think it's up 500.
What?
Yeah. GM coin. Go check it. I'm not shilling. I don't want to, not financial advice, but GM coin, GN coin. Like, I'm on these Discords and these WhatsApp groups, and it's just like token. And I'm like, that feels 2017. No,
That
like,
feels
token
20.
hits, everyone
I got
buys.
wrecked in
Me too.
2018.
But I tell you what,
Hard.
I tell people 2017, best money I ever lost, because it taught me that it was quality over quantity. I was watching YouTube videos back then, these young cats with a Lambo in the garage pushing
Chilling.
some like coin on the bottom of coin market cap that they just picked, and they could drive it up, you could sell it at the top. But then I remember December 28th, whatever it was, 2017, I watched everything just go to zero. I lost it. I held one coin that fortunately came back. That was Cardano. That helped me offset many of the losses. And it wasn't a lot, but still it hurt. And now I'm trying not to get too caught up in the meme coin.
I mean, I had like $1 million, and I was a kid. I was just a kid, and I fucking lost 90% of it. Yeah, absolutely insane. I had like $1 million. I couldn't believe it, and I bought a fucking. I didn't buy. I rented a fucking crazy apartment. I got a fucking Mercedes AMG, and then I got fucking wrecked. It right in my face. Boom! Right back to fucking working in a supermarket, $12 an hour. But I still believed. It wasn't like, oh, this is a scam. No, I got wrecked, like you said. The best money I have ever lost in my life.
Yeah,
literally the best.
And now look, man. Now you built a brand, and you're making the most.
Yeah,
of it,
I found the way and all of that. Hey, man, last thing, because I've taken too much of your time. But what's next with the new Kingship? Like, what's next? Do we have a roadmap on that or not yet?
Honestly, it's developing a narrative. What's important here isn't trying to
let it breathe,
because I think everything is happening in real time. So it's developing a narrative. So we're crafting the story for each and every ape in that band. I mean, there's other ape projects I'm working on for potential endorsements and things like that. Like, this isn't just about these 4 apes, but I believe, like, look, Jimmy's last ape, the gold ape, sold for $3.4 million. This is another gold ape in this band. We're going to create real value around what is this gold ape? Who is this gold ape? What's the personality behind this? What is the sound? How do we drop it? Does it drop as a record? Does it drop as, small NFT music projects? I'll tell you one thing that I'm really, really, really fascinated by is just music as a whole and how music fits in NFT. I feel like, and again, this is just my opinion, that the music industry is fast to adopt, but slow to actually integrate. So like all the artists are talking about NFTs, but no one's really putting out meaningful music NFTs right now. And I think people are like so confused as to like what that product looks like. Is it long form? Is it short form? Do you sell it as a video file? Can you sell it just as a music wave file? How do you play it if you buy it? It's not cool to play it on your OpenSea, right? Or your wallet. Like where can you actually show it off? And so there's so much of it that needs to be determined. So I think through this process, we're going to try to understand that and try to continue to sort of like develop new ways. I want people to go like, I can't believe those guys, like they figured it out.
Mm-hmm. And you know what would be really, really cool, man? Just to, finish it off, my last thought on that.
Yep.
Fractionalizing those four, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys stay with the majority of the tokens.
Yeah.
But you fractionalize it. You allow people
you can fractionalize some of the earnings of the music. Like it's kind of crazy.
You fractionalize those 4 apes and then create a bunch of tokens. And then 30%, 20% of those tokens, you drop it for people to buy them. And now I could buy a little bit of that brand for the future now, right? I could actually buy the apes and have, a fraction of one of those apes. I'm like, I own a fraction, and I can benefit as a user, as a consumer of the growth of these apes as a brand, as an IP, as a band or whatever, right? So,
Perfect.
Yeah. So, man, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you for giving me the time. That's number one. Man. Like, I really, really appreciate that because this is an important moment in my career, and I think you giving me the time. I'm never gonna forget this. I'll tell you.
Man, we gotta come out. We'll get you in the green room, Snoop.
yeah, for sure, man. Next time, whenever there's a chance or whatever, we'll hit up. We'll hang out with Snoop.
All right, well, I'm happy to come back anytime. Let's keep building. I love anything you see out there to pay attention to. Please let me know. I'll keep you posted on Kingship. And obviously, I think one thing I can kind of leak is that I think we got a little one-on-one. We got a big one-on-one plan with Snoop and a really prolific NFT artist, one of the top dogs. And we're trying to figure out when to release it, maybe around Art Basel. We'll see.
Oh, shit. I'm going to see you in Art Basel, man. I'm already going to the events, man. All right, man.